That's crazy. Um, well, I don't know what to say. I think Ralph would definitely be annoyed at me for this. Welcome to Whiskey and SV. I'm your host Sam, and tonight we're going to be drinking some highly aged and potentially over-oaked bourbons. So I have in my possession the latest and greatest release from Jim Beam Distillery, the Knob Creek 21 year Batch 1. This bourbon came out, I guess, in the last month, and it is the follow up to the 18 year releases, which Jim Beam has been doing in their Knob Creek line for the past 3 years or so. Um, it is known to be extremely oaky. I have seen some reviews, I believe mixed. I think Bourbon Bill loved it and thought this it's an amazing whiskey, and the Bourbon Kingdom found it a little bit too one-dimensional and oaky. I have tried, as you can see, a little bit of it and sampled some out, and I'm really interested to know in a blind if it's actually better than the 18 year. So in the lineup, I decided for comparison, it's best to put the batch one of the 18 year because that's the my favorite. If you've seen last week's episode, and it is the most oaky one of the three releases. So it's probably the best one to put up against this in a blind to see how it stacks up. As for price, this is not a cheap bourbon by any means, but it is a 21-year bourbon, which is quite old for any whiskey, but especially for bourbons. And yeah, the SRP on it is $250. So by the time you pay taxes, you're talking anywhere from $275 to $280. And fortunately, the secondary market on this is not very high. Actually, the most well, when it first came out, I saw someone trying to sell it for 1,000, but then it quickly dropped down, and I think you can get it in well under $350. I think I got this one for 310, which was a very very good price. I think the person selling it was just doing me a favor because they went out and bought it and shipped it to me, and basically that was their cost and shipping. So you know who you are. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Right. So, and I thought it probably makes sense to put these two up against something that's also very oaky and well priced, and that is my trusty Calumet 16-year-old. The Calumet 16, as you know, is Ralph's most hated bottle, but I think it's great, and yeah, it's uh, actually a really great value. You can probably get it for around 135 bucks at Total Wine, very available. This secondary price on it is probably in the order of like 200 to 220. I actually was able to get this one for 190, which is a really good price. And as I said, this one 310. So yeah, by far the most expensive one. All right, so without further ado, let me do the pours. These are older bourbons, so I need to let them air out a little bit as well. Although these bottles have all been open now for several days, some for longer than that, so that should be okay. I'm going to remove this box from here, although it looks cool, because I just don't want it to be in the way. But yeah, the first version of these also came with one of these wooden boxes. However, the later releases were missing the box. So I think it's cool to, I mean, if you're spending especially that much money on a bourbon, to have some sort of a nice display case for it. All right, so we'll put number one on the Knob Creek 21. We'll put number two on the Knob Creek 18. And we'll put number three on the Calumet's 18. 16, I should say. Right, so as usual, I will nose them first, give some notes, taste, give some more notes, um, tell you what my preference is, make some guesses, and then we'll do the reveal. Starting by the first one. Wow. This really old bourbon notes is amazing. It's a sweet oak. Um, yeah, it just reminds you of being in in sort of like a rick house in the summer, and there's a little bit of a sour wood note, but it's mostly sweet wood sugars. It's kind of like old, dusty and leathery notes. Yeah, very nice. I love this nose. There's a hint of sort of fruitiness is there as well, but mostly we're talking about just like uh, old oak and leather type notes. Okay, going to the second one. Interesting. Quite similar, though a little bit less oak, I think. Going more towards those sort of fruity notes, actually. But yeah, the oak is unmistakable in all of these. Going to the third one. Hmm, interesting. Very, very similar. I thought it should be easy to tell the Calumet 16 apart from the other two, but not really. Not on the nose, at least. Yeah, so far I think on the nose, this one was the most complex, the most interesting. This one's probably second, and this one's third. Although I did go in that order, so maybe I should just quickly check. Okay, I'm gonna like basically give up on the nose. I think they're very similar. Yeah, this has got a bit more complexity actually. Yeah, I'm very surprised that I can't tell the difference between these and the Calumet 16 on the nose. But it is what it is. Let's go for the palate. It's very, very oaky, as you would expect. Um, Good amount of spices, surprising amount of spices, because obviously spice is not something that you can um, smell, but once it's on your tongue, it's very mouthwatering. And this is the first dram of the night for me, so that really just hit all the right points. Just a nice amount of wood sugars, um, caramel, vanilla, those types of notes, and the spices just really have are quite mouth coating. Yeah, it's really really nice. Enjoy it a lot. Let's go to the second one. um, this is significantly more oaky, and the oak is a bit astringent. It actually does make my mouth pucker up a little bit. Makes me think makes me think this must be the 21. Um, Very lingering. Yeah, it just has a very lingering taste. Um, Definitely, like the bitters from the oak are much more present. I get a lot more of the sweet notes mixed in with the bitters here. This is going more towards those like bitter, like coffee and dark chocolate notes. It's enjoyable, but maybe a hint too much. Um, I'm gonna go to the third one before I go back. That's much more similar to the second one. These two are significantly more oaky than this one, and the oak does have a nice um, spicy flavor to it as well. Not overly spicy, but definitely some spice. Yeah, definitely the oak is much more present in these two. I'm going to do one more round to see if anything's changed. Yeah, I'm getting more of the fruity notes in this one now. It's quite nice. It's hard for me to know. Yeah, I don't have full confidence which this is, but I'm guessing it's probably the Calumet 16. Let me try this one. This has actually a very bright nose. It's interesting because the oak is not as accessible on the nose, I think. Mm. That is extremely oaky. Um, yeah, and the oak definitely does come across as like it has some bitters. Um, I think I dare say this is slightly a little bit over oaked. It's enjoyable, don't get me wrong, especially if you like really really oaky whiskeys, bourbons. But I think it's slightly too much. Very similar to that one. Very very similar. Um, I do prefer this slightly. It has a bit more spices, and the sort of the sweetness lingers around a lot more. This one is more like bitters that linger. This one is more like the sweet and the spicy flavors that linger. So I prefer this for sure to this one. Um, Given the similarity, I think these are the two Napris. I'm going to guess this is the 21. I'm going to guess this is the 18. And that would mean that this has to be the Calumet. The Calumet is a monster for the price. I mean, 135 is just insanely good. Okay, so final thoughts. Um, this one is, I think, the most oak bomby, that I prefer. This one, the oak bomb just gets a little bit out of hand, gets a little bit too bitter for me. Let me do a reveal, and then we'll talk more. Okay, so the first one is number two. Oh wow, this is the 18 year. Whoa. All right, what is this? This is number one. Okay, so this is indeed the Knob Creek 21, which would mean this is number three, which is the Calumet 16. Whoa, I am so surprised. That's insane. How's that possible that I that's crazy. Um well, I don't know what to say. I think Ralph would definitely be annoyed at me for this. Um I don't understand how the Calumet could be in the same conversation as an Up Creeks. I don't understand how I can't tell the difference. Barton Juice versus Knob Creek, which is Jim Beam. Um, I'm just all around extremely surprised. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to end this episode. I mean, it's just I'm amazed that I couldn't tell the difference between Calumet 16 and Knob Creek 18 batch one. So that means the well, I guess luckily the cheapest bottle here, which is the Calumet 16, is my favorite. So um, that's insane. Yeah. I'm just dumbfounded here. This actually is more oaky than this, meaning Knob Creek, sorry, the Calumet 16 is more oaky than the Knob Creek 18 batch one. Okay, well, it is what it is. I'm just glad that I have backups of this, and I may even try to acquire more backups at least with trading, because this to me is like the perfect oaky bourbon. And I think the 21-year Knob Creek is slightly too oaky. Let me just try one more time. Yeah, it definitely gets it's almost like kind of like stale oak water. Um, yeah, not the best. I mean, definitely not justified by the price. I mean, I'm glad that I have it in my collection, but it's not something that I need multiple backups of. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your patronage, and I will see you next time. Cheers.